The topic, Famine in a Fertile Land, the Curious Case of Indian R&D. To set the context for this keynote address, we have with us the chair of the R&D vertical of the DIA project envisioned by TiEcon 2023. And now it's time to listen to the chair of the R&D vertical, Mr. C. Padmakumar. Hearty welcome, sir. A noted name in the world of medical devices, strategic planning, business development, strategy and team building, who has had an impeccable track record, especially in the medical device industry. He is the Special Officer, Kerala Medical Technology Consortium. Good afternoon to you, sir, and welcome. With your permission, I invite the speaker for the session, the absolutely zealous Ms. Kripa Ananthan, automobile designer, Head of Design, Ola Electric, will take the lectern. She is a BITS Pilani mechanical engineering graduate who excels in automotive design. She is an alumnus of IIT Bombay, starting as an interior designer to rising in ranks to that of a chief designer at Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. She has been instrumental in shaping iconic models like the XUV 500 and Thar. She has an extensive experience and expertise of over 25 years. She now directs her design prowess towards electric motorcycles at Ola Electric, the absolutely inspiring and influential Ms. Kripa Ananthan for you. So would you like to set the context, or shall Madam take over? I leave it to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As you can see, we have these 5 themes or tracks for TiEcon. Now, 4 of them are actually verticals, industry verticals, you could say. And this one, R&D, obviously applies to all of them and to any other sector. So I've been in the medical device industry for the past close to 40 years, and I've always wondered about this curious case. You know, it's like one of those Earl Stanley Gardner mysteries, the curious case of the missing cat, or in this case, Indian R&D. I'll give you a couple of numbers which are actually very strange. So we have this country which now aspires to be a superpower. We have many claims that we make about ourselves. We also need to look at some data and see where we stand, at least in one significant area of development, which is how do we stack up when it comes to R&D. So Indian R&D investment is about 0.8% of GDP. The global average is 1.8%. The best countries in the world, USA 2.9%, Sweden 3.2%, Switzerland 3.4%, and Israel, number 1, 4.5%. Now, what is very curious about these numbers is the fact that, you know, we boast of some of the best talent in the world. I think I don't have to, you know, elaborate that further. Just witness the number of CEOs, CTOs, CXOs of the best and biggest companies across the world. In every sector you can think of who are Indian. So there is no shortage of talent, obviously. Then what accounts for the fact that it is so difficult to name one Indian product which is world class? So I may be exaggerating a bit. Maybe you can, you know, name 5 products. One of those products was designed by our keynote speaker here. But I think the point remains that we are not doing well when it comes to R&D. So why is it that Indian industry doesn't invest in R&D? That's the question we're dealing with here. I'll now hand you over to our keynote speaker, Kripa Ananthan. Kripa.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Padmakumar. Thanks, everyone. I'm Kripa. I'm head of design at vehicle design at Ola Electric. And let me try and get started. So Jimon Kora called me a few weeks back and he said, come talk at TiE. And I was like, dude, I'm a designer. What am I going to talk that will be of any relevance to entrepreneurs? So Jimon said, no, we are very clear. You are the right person. And he said, talk to Padmakumar. So a few days later, I speak to Padmakumar and he gives me the context. And it actually makes sense. But there was a hook, which I have not told anybody what the hook was. So here I am. Audience question. What does a successful product need? What's the most important thing a successful product needs? You can just shout it out. Customer satisfaction. Large customer demand. Large customer demand. Appeal. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here we don't go. Can you help, please? You can come out of presentation mode. Yeah.
ബിർള ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിൽ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പഠിച്ച ആൾ ശേഷം
Why is it going to present?
ബിർള ഇൻസ്റ്റിറ്റ്യൂട്ടിൽ മെക്കാനിക്കൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് പഠിച്ച ആൾ ശേഷം IIT ബോംബെയിൽ നിന്ന് ഡിസൈനിങ്ങിൽ മാസ്റ്റേഴ്സ് ഡിഗ്രി എടുത്ത ആൾ. ആ ആൾ ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്ത വണ്ടി. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഈ വാഹനം ഏതാണെന്ന് മനസ്സിലായിട്ടുണ്ടാവും. 2020 പുറത്തിറങ്ങിയ സെക്കൻഡ് ജനറേഷൻ മഹീന്ദ്ര താർ. പവർഫുൾ SUV. പൊളിറ്റിക്കലി ഇൻകറക്റ്റായിട്ട് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ആണുങ്ങളുടെ വണ്ടി അല്ലേ? ഏത് കുന്നും മലയും കയറാൻ ഓഫ് റോഡ് കേപ്പബിലിറ്റിയുള്ള കിടിലൻ വാഹനം. റഫ് ലുക്ക്. ഇങ്ങനെയൊരു വാഹനം ഡിസൈൻ ചെയ്യാൻ കഴിവുള്ള ആൾ ആരായിരിക്കും? ഇപ്പം നിങ്ങളുടെ മനസ്സിലുള്ള ഒരു പുരുഷ രൂപമുണ്ടല്ലോ, അതങ്ങോട്ട് മറച്ചു വെച്ചേക്കും. Kripa Ananthan, the woman who designed the new.
So I've joined social media recently, and I believe this is called humble bragging. So excuse me, but a friend of mine had sent this to me a few months back and said that I believe it's going viral. So the hook is Kerala. Obviously, Kerala likes me a lot, and hence I said, okay, this is a customer base that I can talk to, and hence I'm the product for you. So this is the subject, famine in a fertile land. I'm going to try to give you my views on it. So these are the points I'm going to talk about: insight, process, talent. Padmakumar has already spoken about that. Process innovation, technology, and vision. So my context is automotive industry and sort of close to design, but still I'll try and keep it broad-based. So the first one is insight. So as I said, I'm Ola Electric. I'm used to walking and talking. I'll try and keep myself here. And we make S1 Pro, which is the highest selling electric scooter in India. And through these features, I'm going to try to tell you what is customer insight. It's not about going to a customer and asking, what do you want? It's not about getting feedback from customer. It is at a deeper level. So I will just talk through this. So the automotive world has a very, very structured way of getting insight. We call it voice of customer. We convert that in customer requirements and then product spec. And each company would have some bespoke sort of way of doing it, QFD, quality function deployment, and so on. But I'm just going to talk to you in a way that you get what I'm meaning by saying insight. I'll talk, these are the top, these are 5 of the top 6 features in the scooter, S1 Pro. I'll start with the last, which is proximity control. Now, if I went to a customer and asked, do you have a problem starting your scooter with a key? They'll say, no, it's perfectly fine. I mean, occasionally you'll hear somebody saying, it tore a hole through my pocket, and then you'll get a flip key. The way you look at this is, our lead customer is a tech-savvy urban youth. And we need to make a product that dovetails, aligns with their digital life. And hence, this is the solution for that. And it's not about not having a key. I'll take the next one, which is also not very obvious. Actually, I had an audience question before that, but since I didn't ask you, the most important thing in an EV is range. And, it's not cruise control. But strangely, cruise control improves range. It actually improves rider behavior, and hence you get better range. And because of which you can see it's pretty much on the top of the list of favored features by customers. And the other two things I'm not going to talk about, music and party mode. As I said, our customer is tech-savvy, urban youth. And this is the world into which we are selling our EVs. These are fun-loving people, and they want to live life king size, rich experiences. And design is all about, catering to that experience. So having music, speakers in your scooter, and party mode where the scooter sort of blinks along with it, these our customers really enjoy a lot. Again, the point I'm trying to make is that's not a question that you could ask a customer and get the problem statement up front. So the next I'm going to talk about is design process. The automotive industry has existed for many, many years. It's extremely process-oriented. And this is the design process, a lot of steps. It's common across the auto industry. You could have somebody which has 2 loops more, which will typically be BMW. And you will have some who take some shortcuts, one step less, which will be an Indian OEM. But broadly, this is the process that's followed across the world. I have tried to put it in a pictorial manner, what we follow in Ola Electric. So even though I'm saying design, within design, there are a lot of verticals. It's a very, very specialized area. I've tried to put it in a more relevant way, the 5-step design thinking process. The context is electric vehicles. Why electric vehicles? Climate change, pollution, etc. And the customer is urban youth, maybe Indian. So in this context, you need to first empathize. You need to understand the customer. I just spoke about inciting. And then you define, and this is the most important stage, where you say that, what is the architecture of this product? As I spoke about it. What insights are you building into it? And you create a design brief. Many of you in this room would probably be aware of this very well. The next stage is the creative process, where you ideate for this, you conceptualize, you visualize, you communicate. Then you prototype, and then you test and validate. Now, though I've shown this as a linear process, this is an extremely quick iterative process. It's not to be seen as a linear process at all. I mean, that's when you could fail thinking that I can go to the next step. No, you're going to fail in that step. You have to come back, rethink what you're doing, redo the brief, look at your insights. Maybe somebody has already done it, etc. To show you what we do at Ola Electric, I'll take you through an AV. So I'm running out of time, so I'll probably go through it fast. But the problem is, you've seen, it's very, very complex. And all this talent, even though we have very good colleges in India and we have very good transportation design colleges in India, we still don't have many of this talent available in India, good talent pool, let's say. So that means probably having to hire international talent or setting up a studio abroad. And that's probably an area that we need to work further on. So I've picked up a couple of areas which I know there are lots of holes in this, but I've picked up a couple of areas, which is virtual reality visualization and definitely studio engineering. I'll go to the next one to talk about studio engineering. So I spoke to you about the design process, right? The design thinking process. And it's not like you do a product and you're good. You have to keep doing it, like Padmakumar was telling me. So in the automotive process, there is a lot of looking back into what you've done and how can you do it better. Things gone right, things gone wrong. Depending on the organization that you're in, there are various processes that are there. So one of the things that we do is process innovation. So as I said, these are two areas where we have a gap. And one of the most important things for a vehicle, I'm talking about a two-wheeler now, but it is very, very relevant for four-wheelers too, is to get the rider ergonomics right. It could be comfort, it could be visibility, it could be a whole range of these things. Now, this is a setup that we've done in-house. So this is a rig where you get the rider triangle. That's your handlebar, your seating position, and your foot pegs or your floorboard. And that has to be right, not just for the customer. In our case, it could be Indian customers. The anthropometric data is different from the international data. And it could also be the category. So obviously, a sports bike has to have an ergonomics different from a scooter and an adventure bike and so on. And this we do with mixed reality. So the person who's on that rig actually is able to see the bike below him and the environment he's in because he's wearing that headset. We do this with, it's called a static jury. We do it with customers. We actually call customers in and see what is the posture in which they are comfortable, or it gives them a sense, in this case, of a super sports bike. So that's one of the things that we are doing for process innovation. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is in EVs, time to market is of essence. Climate change, I'm sure all of us are having floods that we don't want to have. So one of the most difficult things to do is build prototypes. When you do everything virtually, it's very, very fast. But the minute you have to build a prototype, it takes a lot of time. So this is something that we've built in-house. We build in-house. So this means collaboration. I think more important than prototyping is being able to collaborate. This is the battery guys, the motor guys, the electronics, the design, prototyping, all of us working together. And that's me, more humble bragging, riding the bike onto stage for its reveal. So, yeah, I have time. The backbone of product is technology. You can't talk enough about this. And if we have to make world-class products, we have to invest in technology. In Ola Electric, we invest hugely in technology, in all of this: software, electronics, motor drivetrain, cell and battery, manufacturing technology, and much more. I've just pulled out the engineering bits. I'll talk a little bit of cell. So we have a battery innovation center in Bangalore. We have more than 200 specialists. These are all people with doctorates in chemistry, in metallurgy, in structural engineering, in manufacturing processes. And we are doing grounds up clutter breaking technology development in cells. As you guys may know, the battery is the biggest cost in a scooter or in any EV. If we have to electrify mobility at humanity scale, we have to bring the cost of cells down. And so that's one of the reasons. When I talk about electrifying mobility at humanity scale, I come to the critical point. It's that of having a vision. Now, a vision has to be big, hairy, audacious goal. It cannot be just achievable or measurable. It has to be super ginormous. And I feel in today's context, it has to be meaningful. It has to be meaningful for the organization. It has to be meaningful for the customers. It has to be meaningful for community. With that.
खाली रास्ते बातें नहीं किया करते, कौन कहता है? इन रास्तों को घर बना के तो देखो, रफ्तार पर हक जता के तो देखो, मुसाफिर बन के आज़ादी अपना के तो देखो, हवाओं की गुनगुनाहट, बारिश की सरसराहट, दिन और रात की हड़बड़ाहट आगे बढ़ने से रोकती है, कौन कहता है? रास्ते और तुम्हारे बीच की दूरी मिटा के तो देखो, ज़मीं पर रहकर भी उड़ना क्या होता है, ये जान के तो देखो.
Thank you. We strongly believe in hyperbole.
खाली रास्ते.
So with that, there are many things that are required for making good products. You need a talent pool, you need a growing market, technology, funding, academic institutions, regulatory environment. And it seems like we have all of it. So what is causing this famine in this very fertile land? I look forward to the discussions. Thank you.